articles, very long, journals. You have to get it from that. And you acknowledge them. That's most important thing when we talk about the, plagiarism, I can tell you. And also, you can use different sources like, ABA Science, MLA Science, Chicago, or they are different. Now, I have given you one here on ABA Science. So, as I told you earlier, there are different popular citation styles. So, it depends on the institution. Some people, most of them use ABA. Some people they use MLA and some Chicago. It depends on the your institution. So whenever you write for thesis, then you ask the institution. When you want to write a journal article, then you ask the journal what they prefer. Yeah, this thing. Then I have given you some example here for these things, and also some people, easily they used to ask me, sir, how to see that. I used to say, go to Google, Google Scholar, and just say sign, then you will get like this, You will get MLA, how you have to put. APS style, how you have to put. Chicago, these are different styles of citations. Then it should be correct and consistent. Rules of grammar, punctuation, and citation, everything should be there. How to write numbers, abbreviations, verb tenses. It should be all, inconsistent. Sometimes when you write, some places they used to write simple present, sometimes past, or they mix everything. Sometimes some people UK English and you say English, like, they mix things. So you should not do that. And also, as I told you, academic writing is not personal one. I told you, don't get it too personal. Information about the author may come from some points. For example, in the non-acknowledgement in a personal reflection, but for the most part of the text should be focused on the research itself. You will say second person. Don't say I or something. As a teacher, you must treat your students fairly. No, you should not. As a teacher, one must treat one's students fairly. The common statement you have to make it. You should not use you or I or the personal one. I've given you some example here. Just person I, we should not use that. So I have given you some example here, so I don't want to waste my time here. Long with it, because you should not use long with it. You have to make it very, very, very brief. Interested in this phenomena coming on the year 2018. Interested in this phenomena. Simply you can say that, you should not be, very emotive renders, because you should not be, emotive one. You should be emotive or subjective of language. So then, as I told you, avoid informal terms and construction, second person pronouns, emotive exaggerated, redundant, all those things you have to use. You should not use it. You have to put you have very good evidence. All those things are there in academic writing. Let me just, because I went through that because I don't want to waste time because of those pages. But anyway, you have to be focused on this plagiarism. What is plagiarism? Plagiarizing plagiarizing means to steal and pass on the idea or words of another as one's own. But if I'm getting my idea, someone's idea, I think that is plagiarize. Plagiarize means stealing things from others, other person, without crediting the source. If I got something from some other sources, I have to say that, I have now plagiarizing. Now I'm just giving where I got this. If I tell that because this is mine, that is not fair. Therefore, plagiarism is stealing. It's academic theft. We can say that. That different plagiarism definition. Well, plagiarism comes from the Latin word plagiarius means kidnapper, and Greek word plagian means something that is not direct. So now it's like kidnapping things, like, So plagiarism and committee, they have defined this as a failure to acknowledge. There are different types of plagiarism. I will talk about it. Present words, ideas, images, sounds, so creative expression of others as yours. That is a very important thing. Whatever it is, just copying things from there. Images, ideas, words, even some words, some sounds, music. It might be anything. Now, there are two types of plagiarism, intentional and unintentional. Intentional is copying someone. So we know that all now they try to do, copy from, Google and other, papers, try to Google site or Google Scholars or other articles, they copy it. Buying or borrowing papers, that is another important thing now it's happening in social media. Now they borrowing and buying. You will just pay and they do it for you. That is also intentional plagiarism. Pasting blocks of text from electronic sources without documenting, yes, without telling where you got it, yes. And paste things. And media borrowing with documentation, yes. Unintentional careless paraphrasing. Now, when you do some idea and paraphrase it, carelessly you paraphrase it. And also for documentation, sometimes you gather information and put it somewhere. Later you find it, where you got it from. Where you can't finally use your own voice. Sometimes you never talk about your voice. You just only follow them. There are different ways that plagiarism can occur. There are different things in a cloning. What is cloning? Submitting another's work word for word as one's own. 100% word to word. Just copy and paste. Just clone them. It's changing keywords and phrases. Sometimes they copy, paste, and change the keywords like, synonyms, like, they put some words and like that. Just simply change it. Recycle, borrowing errors from one's previous work without citation. You get from someone else, but you don't cite it, you don't give any citation, you don't say where you got from. Pressure, mixing copies materials from multiple sources. You just
Yes, Mr. Kabir. We are not getting you right from the chain. Is there any problem, sir?
you can see.
Yes, the slide, maybe the first slide, we are not getting any slide from the chain.
Very much. See, you get slides now.
Okay. Please, sir. Please, sir. Sorry to disturb you, sir. Interrupt. Okay.
Can you see this? Can you see the slides now?
Yes, sir.
Now,
Visible. Yes, it's visible, sir.
yes, sir. Now, I can see now. I can only see, but you can see me. I'm sorry.
Yes, sir. Yes, we are able to see now, sir. This is
Okay, now, these are the slides I have going on this side. So I will send it and you can give it to them. Impression that I'm going to do it for 2 hours. That's why I'm preparing for 2 hours. Now you say just 30 minutes, so yes, I'm just doing it. Okay, these are the prevention of plagiarism. Then these are the intentional and unintentional. Then I'm here now. So now your tone is just word to word you clone it. Then sometimes change the keyword that is fine. Replace just change only the keywords. Recycle generously from one's previous work without citing, then mixing copies material from multiple sources. For example, you get what is plagiarism? You get here, and 3, 4 places, and put everything that you make it as a samba. Right, that's measure. Including proper citation of sources but containing almost no original work. Now, without showing the original work, now you are just showing that you got it from there, but that is not there. Control C, what is Control C? Significant portion of text from the single source or without alteration. Without doing that, you just copy everything. Control C means copying. Remix. Mixing paragraph materials from multiple sources, even the purpose similar to measure things, you remix them. Put some, cited sources with copy pasting without citing. You just get them from there, but you never use citation. Then 40, okay, 404 citing non-existent sources or including inaccurate information because sometimes people use supposed to do that. Sometimes they used to cite something that is not available anywhere. So even this one, I got it from some. All these are from Turkey because just now I am telling them this is from the website. These sites I got it from the Turkey time. That now I am acknowledging that. If I don't acknowledge that this is I am plagiarizing things. Okay. Give you some example for planning. The real source and students' work. And I think now no need to waste my time, as I told you, subject in this word for word as one source. Exactly what you get here is getting here, just they copy it. Then control C, as I told you, containing significant portion of the text from the single source without alteration. Almost all the things except one. You see, now here the colored one. From the time of its, since it's first discovered. You see, now just left one word and now they are exploring it. Find and replace, now changing keywords and phrases but retaining the essential content. Because only they change the content of the keywords like, find and replace, remix. These are the examples for remix or recycle, hybrid, measure, procedure for error. All examples are here. Reduce and yes, I will answer this. Okay, what we have to do. Now, borrow from the works of others in your own work. Be very careful. Then you have to see quote and cite phrases, sentences, and paragraphs taken directly from the original source. You have to quote and cite perfectly. As I told you earlier, APA, MLA, or whatever the citations method they prepared, you have to do that. Quote and cite statistic charts, graphs, and everything. You have to perfectly say where you put this chart, where you put this, graph charts and statistic and everything. When you paraphrase or summarize, you put it to the original author. But you can paraphrase things. You can put in your own words. You can summarize things, but you can tell the idea where you got from. Otherwise, it is something like you. So, avoiding is you use these three strategies: quoting, paraphrasing, and summarizing. These three are the very useful techniques that you can, avoid plagiarism. To build source of material with your own, making sure your own voice is heard. But you have to say that, your own voice is also important. You have to mention, and also, but you have to properly quote, properly paraphrase and summarize. But anyway, you have to tell the source that you got, where you got from. And so, avoiding plagiarism, manage your time during the researching and writing process wisely. Employ effective research strategies. Choose when you summarize, paraphrase, support information from your source. You have to do all these things. Use a journal report to revise your mistake. Yes, you have used journal report. Now there are different, Kundo and some other, there are different, websites where you can check your similarity index. Some universities say, 15% of similarity index. 20 or 25, 23, sometimes maximum 23, 25. So whenever you want to check that, you check it from the Turnitin report or or similarity index site, and you have to do that. Okay, what are the consequences? So that is a very serious offense and can lead to a failing grades or suspension from school because people will suspend. School will say that you have plagiarized, so no more degree, or they will not award it, or they fail it. So, suspension and legal action. Even now we know that first year school, was removed from a very famous university because he got plagiarized in his thesis. Sometimes the university or the institution might take legal action against other people. There are some, case studies here, how people, they were affected in real life, some consequences, how they were affected. Okay, so now I'm going this one, regraduate studies, WP University was suspended and legal action. A senior professor is appointed a full-time practice to type this PhD thesis. Very interesting thing happened. One person, a director was there, a vice chancellor or director of the university. And one person, what he did was, he was against this guy. So what he did was, he appointed a man to type this to type the whole thesis. In those times, only he didn't have a soft copy. And checked the plagiarism, and he reported, and he removed from the position, and he was taken legal action. Now, Sri Lanka University will be removed very soon. Now, he is going to be removed because of some plagiarism. So, it's a very serious subject. As we said, it's an academic thing. It's not only academic thing. It's a very, very serious issue. These are anti-plagiarism software that I was talking about earlier. Work on all these are, can you see the screen, sir? Is it visible? My screens? Organizers. Can you see the screen? Okay. Then these are different, plagiarism, anti-plagiarism software. So you can use them. Pages and images of your images identify content similarity matches. The software scan the database, crawl content, and identify the text component, and then compares to the component or content on the other one. We know that with the other work and previous work, it will check all these database and show how much is there. This is the way the plagiarism software checks. It checks with all the other databases. You see, this is the yes, sir.
Again, the slides are not visible.
Sir, very, very nice. Okay, stop. I don't know why.
Are we in slide 31 or 32, sir?
Wait, sir. Is it visible, sir?
No. Yes.
Yes.
It's coming up. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's visible. Slide number 57.
Oh, yeah. About 10 friends, I think. This is the plagiarism checker. Now, this is a report. Now, I have generated for some other, my students' paper. Now, this is how it's like. They're showing index is 6 here. With different colors. So, okay, now let's talk about indexing database and research. Indexing. What is indexing journal? Now we are talking about publication ethics and things like that. The indexing journals. But journals are better in quality and have placed at a higher rank in the term of the quality of the journal publication. Because when we say index journal, now when we publish, we say that Q1, Q2, Q3 or something like that. They are indexing, but it's better in quality and ranking. The scientific journals which are indexed are considered to be good journals rather than non-research journals, because now we know that we all go for Q1, Q2, Q3, sometimes very expensive, some of them are very free. Now it became a very big business now. Therefore, indexing journals in research, journals are published research content for the reviewer suggestion and editorial decision, because in its review suggestion and editorial decision, as far from this, no one judges publication content, because that is done by them. The journal will be the third publication on its work. Indexing database in research is highly required. All these are, they are using for indexing the various tools and things like that. Okay? Then it improves research quality, monitor journal activity, support young researchers. Indexing for journals, we say that Scopus is there, cross of science, all these are, nobody can see is indexing science, journal indexing science. Most of the people use only Scopus, but there are, indexing science also there, cross of science, science and SCIE, or all other, AHCI and ESCI, and all these are indexing science. So as postgraduate students and scholars, you should know all these indexing science. Major difference between the index and non-index journal. index journals are considered to be the less in quality, but do not maintain the publication ethics. Now, we were talking about the publication ethics. What is publication ethics? Without plagiarism, there are different types of plagiarism and things like that. Now, is it possible? Yeah. Just like scopers, Watson, you just remove hundreds of journals. Every year they remove it. When scopers is there, because recently I published a paper in which the journal was on, Q3 category. Immediately it was removed. Then the problem is there. People say that immediately they remove it from the proper index and proper scopers and other index. Then later, 1 or 2 years back, after that, now they might get it. So it is a very tricky thing. Then therefore you have to be very careful when you publish an index. Yeah. Researchers, but it helps to find a good journal. When you say indexing agencies have an individual database that helps the researchers with authors to find and publish a good journal. Sometimes, you can. When I want to publish, I used to say, when somebody says that, this journal is good, now I used to write the journal. They them and say whether it is index one, whether it is about. Then they reply, it's good. You can send them to Scopus. Scopus people whether it is a good one. So then find the journals whether it is good or bad. Then okay. Now we used to say that Q means Q1, Q2, Q3. What is Q means journal ranking? Each subject of journal is divided into 4 categories: Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. Q index simply means which is the ranking of this journal that belongs to a specific particular field in discipline, and also known as the permanent of measuring the ranking. Now, Q1 is viewed by the top 25 journals in the list. Then again, Q2 25 to 50%, Q3 is 50 to 75%, Q4 is 75 to 100% in the group. So, when you see Q1, you should know Q index is the quartile of this ranking. You won the first position of the top 20, okay? Then summary of the actually today now we had looked at what is academic writing because of the time limit. Really, I need to finish it because usually I prepared this one for 2 hours. I did not get a very clear instruction from them because I thought that it's 2 hours for me. So, but I thought that I have to talk about this when we talk about this ethics and academic writing, then plagiarism, and then publication and things like that. But usually, now what I would like to tell you is, stop sharing. Wait. Okay, as researchers and scholars, we should be very careful with this, ethics, what you should do and what you should not do. Even ethical committee, when I was doing my PhD in UK, I had a very good experience. I can share that experience with you. Now we have an ethical committee. We have an ethical committee where in the faculty level, then department level, faculty level, university level, national level. So if there is the normal research, they have I can get the approval from the faculty level. So no problem. Then otherwise there's a green signal. Then people used to say that yellow means there is a university. That is from the national level they get the edge. But I collect the data, then I have to submit all my questionnaires, protocols, and everything. And I collected my data. Then when I came to Sri Lanka, then I had to, test a model. So I had to administrate another questionnaire, a very brief questionnaire. Then I sent that questionnaire to my supervisor. Supervisor did not, answer because he was on leave and it was on, he has mentioned that, I am out of the country. So I administered the question without getting approval from my supervisor or from the ethical committee. All of a sudden, I received a mail saying that you have been suspended from your studies. have been suspended from your studies, then they were shocked. Then it took 1 year to just clarify all these things from the school office. Now, they said, what is, that's not approved by the ethical committee. So, it depends on the, institution that you are working. But anyway, for postgraduate studies, now we should have a very good ethical committee in the schools and universities where we have to follow the ethics. Then even plagiarism and other stuff are all coming under this plagiarism and other, publication and things are coming. You have to follow all these ethics. But anyway, when I find any free time, then we can talk about this ethics more. Anyway, thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for your time. Anyway, which I have prepared for 2 hours, I have just run through the slides for 30 minutes. Thank you very much, sir.
Dr. Salim. Thank you, Dr. Salim. And I hope all the participants, officials, and deans and everyone must have enjoyed the presentation, and it must be worthy, beneficial, and very informative for all the participants. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Salim, again. Please. Going further, may I request Professor Takahashi Ryo from Japan. Well, it was difficult networking and so, but he has just joined us despite all problems. We welcome him, we invite him. May I just give a brief note about Professor and Commissioner, American University of Sovereign Nation, Professor Takahashi Ryo. He has been the director, the Nippon Care with Education. He has been the advisor, Multidisciplinary Center for Neural Studies, SS University. He has worked in the area of philosophy and ethics, genetology, special needs education, and social welfare. He has been the member of KOCA, Provocative Youth Prevention Committee. He has also been the vice chairman, Philippine Association Extension Program Implementation. He has been the commissioner, American University of Sovereign Nation, AUSN. Moreover, he has also been the member of Social Contribution Foundation. In addition to the Professor Ryo is an honorary member of E-Club of Global City, Manila, so environment friendly and along with academics, and honorary member for the E-Club also. He has been the fellow of International Association for the Scientific Study of Intellectual and Development Disability. He has authored 10 books of international repute. Professor Ryo is a voracious writer and contributed many articles of national and international repute and fame. He is a member of different academic bodies. May I again request Dr. Ryo Takahashi to please present his presentation or deliver his viewpoint. Please, sir, we are just welcoming you.
Thank you for great introduction. It's very difficult to connect with you, but finally through my iPhone, I can talk to you. So it is difficult to show you the PowerPoint, but prior to this meeting, I sent the PowerPoint. So if it's possible, please show to us so that I won't be able to difficulty with your help. But because of the time limited, I would like to proceed by without PowerPoint. But middle of the time, if possible, using PowerPoint, please setting up the PowerPoint. My topic is that the man, a study on the philosophical education on Zanshin in Bushido, mind and consciousness text of future. It is just published under my name, and Amazon or any other place you may be able to find out my book. The main thing is who is man. The thinking about bioethics. Anybody who has a disability, I always ask the students, raise your hand. And nobody raised a hand, the people, students think that they are normal. But I raise a hand because I have a difficulty and disability. When I went to Russia, I have a difficulty to communicate with many people because they don't speak English. They spoke Russian. So I try to make a gesture to give that my feeling what I need to do. But somebody rang the telephone and called to Petersburg University to contact the professor. But I have a difficulty to get into the bus as well because they have a different rule how to ride the bus. But nearly to the campus at the St. Petersburg University, many students could speak English. So I could finally reach out to the Department of Sociology to make a presentation. So that is the way thinking of man is not thinking about you don't have a disability is a problem. Anybody has any kind of a disability. So this is the main topic about man. And why we are talking about Japanese culture? There's a thing you may know the Zen originally came from India, which called yoga. But these things moved to China, and they called another languages. But inside is the same yoga. Then from Japan to Japan, we called Zen itself, but contents is the same as yoga. So actually, studying of philosophy of Zen, which is meditation, we are forgetting about the principle, how we may be able to get the idea from meditation. Because we are in hurry to get the information this time, because we can use Google or some internet program to get the answer soon. But actually, very sacred teaching are not put into the Google at all. You can find my paper by just typing philosophy and gerontology, 2 words only. So you can find top of the Google my paper. So you can find out what I want to say about philosophy of gerontology, which is study of aging. So what is mean aging? What do you think about? I'm almost 62 years old this coming September 1st. Now still, couple of days, I'm 61 years old. But people may think that I'm aging, older people. But I don't think I'm still young, very young baby. Because knowing of many things, I will be discover myself. I don't know many things. Even there are many professionals who are in mathematics, science, sociology, psychology, philosophy, and so on, how related to the major. For example, I used to teach social welfare. So social welfare is part of the sociology, but nowadays, social welfare is necessary to study of artificial intelligence, AI. Do you think about social welfare necessary AI before? But this becoming the common sense. You have to know that people's feeling may be able to develop by AI. So how we may be able to collaborate with? That means we have to expanding of idea, but you don't know yet. So that is an ethical issue that your major is put into the one department though. We have to develop our idea, how you feel, what you need in your ethics. So I don't know, you can see my PowerPoint here. I don't see, but I can continue my talk. In this book was talking about human being, man. You may recognize the Book of Man by Rabindranath Tagore. Everybody should know about him. He is born in Santaniketan, India. When I was in Andhra University, I discovered Tagore was visiting Andhra University when Radhakrishna was president of university. So I asked the professors, do you know about Tagore who was visiting to Andhra University? Nobody give me answer. Dear professor, I'm a foreigner. So I asked again many people. Then I discovered one 94 years old editor of a local newspaper. He knew Tagore was visiting, and he took a photo and making a paper of him. So he introduced me one student who was with Tagore and his associate in 1940, and the second time 1943. That student was effective for Boy Scout in India. Actually, she opened up Boy Scout in India. He was a wonderful student. One day, when Tagore was visiting Andhra University, he stayed in guest house. He was observing that student because he was always staying by hostel. And Tagore asked to the student, when do you leave to your home? He said, I don't leave to home at all. I am always stay here, hostel, to serve you. And Tagore said, how wonderful. I cannot believe you are always here. I will listen to your request, whatever you want to. And she said, may I ask you to take a photo with the president and the others with you? That is easy. So there is a photograph which is not existed in Santaniketan, which is Tagore University, now it's a National University, did not have that photo. But I saw that student who passed away a week ago at the age 93 years old. He always talking about Tagore, how wonderful experience he had, and had a photograph of him. Then I visited 3 times. Third times, I asked permission to get a photo of him with Tagore to use front of my book cover. So afterward, I visited Santaniketan to make a manuscript of his lectures, 3 days, you can find only title is a man. But 3 days, he gave different idea of man. One day, first day, oh good, I saw PowerPoint. So this is the book. You can just Googling, you can say, you can find out what I have written inside. Just a brief introduction is inside. So, and those you can move. There is a chapters, what is inside. So please go ahead, whatever you feel will be teamwork. Then second day, I will give a lecture, which is also about man. But first day was man who are like animal, just talking about food or talking about clothes. But second day, man who was seeking good, serving volunteer, doing study. And third day, he was talking about man who is God-like, not human-like, God-like being. How we can be God-like. We have to learn of God regardless of religions. We can find out many things if we seek it. And we have to act as it's like a God will, to service, to love people. So that is the way, not immediately, day by day, we may be able to find out His will by serving to our fellow men. So these 3 days was contained in the one book, Man, by Tagore. So I was so surprised when I found out that book was from Andhra University. I asked many people, as I told you, even professor didn't give me answer. Foreign people, myself, found out, and business hunter Nikitan, and found out his manuscript as well. So I included his handwriting as well. Tagore used to be heading to the university in London, but he couldn't fish out because he was considered people with disability. He cannot study at public school. So he was taught by sisters at home, not school. But at observing his writing, handwriting, I saw the wonderful mistaken word, but it became beautiful pictures. Word became pictures because Tagore idea. He was not only writers, he was a painters, he was speakers. So what do you think about disability? If you think this person has a disability, that means you have a disability to judge the people. We should not judge the people. We should accept people so that we should not discriminate any people at all. We are fair. Even age may be different. We can learn from a child. That is bioethics. What I learned from second degree, which I got PhD in the bioethics. I got the PhD in Japan first in education, specialized aging with disability, quality life. And I get into that the bioethics first, that's the second degree of PhD in the United States. But common idea is there is no disability at all. So how we can study is that then, how do you feel instead of how do you think people with intellectually different? So in this topic, we are gathered together for studying of bioethics or ethics in research. We should not do any discriminative research at all. We should be collaborative research so that we may not have any differential, but we may be able to collaborate even that the result of research may be peace and harmony of your paper and people who are associated with your activities. So I gave 15 to 20 minutes. I think that the time is out, but you can answer or ask a question afterward, or even my paper, my name, you can read the Ryo Takahashi research map. You can read all my paper. I wrote Japanese, of course, many English as well. In the Santa sister Santa Misra invited me yesterday, so I have no chance to preparation, but I can do it because I learned from India. India has a great principle to make a simultaneous creativity. That ability is the most important, rather than memorization. So I'll conclude this session, how important to make own decision and not judgment of the people may be able to develop better society through our activity. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. It was nice listening to you. The philosophy and the ethics correlation and how it facilitates research ethics at the national and international level. It was nice listening to you. Sir, the way you cited examples from India, Japan, and other nations to come to a point, especially how mind and consciousness coordination can be the vision for future. It was certainly very informative and educative, and I believe it will go in the long run. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot for being with us, for sharing with us, and hope to have some more lectures in future. Thank you, sir. Madam Shanta Mitra, wishes to say something? No. Okay. Okay, madam. Next, we have in the sequence Professor Shanta Mitra from Cuttack, Odisha. He is the former professor of psychology, VBU University, Cuttack, Odisha, India. He has got PhD degree from Berhampur University, Berhampur, Odisha. He has, to a credit, 37 years of teaching experience. He has been the editor, Odisha Journal of Social Sciences. He has authored 6 books. He has, to her credit, 5 research projects. He has attended many seminars, international conferences, and symposiums. Moreover, he has developed quality of life questionnaires. He has developed course curriculum for university yoga gerontology. May I request Professor Shanta Mitra to present her PPT and also share with us a valuable viewpoint on the topic. Please, Dr. Shanta Mitra, Madam, please.
Thank you. Esteemed Vice Chancellor, Vinova University, Hazaribag, Jharkhand. Honorable Professor Ryo Takahashi from Japan. Respected Professor Anjum, for whom only I am here. Respected Mr. Samin from Sri Lanka. respected Professor Rahman from B.N. Mandal University, Bihar, respected Professor Rajak, Head of the Department of Psychology and Director of IQAC cell of the university, my lovely students, all the elites and all the inmates of the university present here. Very good afternoon to you all. It's really a great opportunity for me to be here in this Vinova Bhave University of Hazaribag. Thanks to Dr. Rajak to choose me to be here. I'll start with a sloka from Nirvana Satakam, which is the sole spirit of research ethics that our rich Indian culture has reached its aim by leading scientific researchers from the time immemorial. Just we have to implement it in our life reading processes. I will start with this and also I will end with this philosophy. So to start with, Manobuddhankara Hita Ninam Nacha Srotra Jive Nacha Dhyana Vetri Nacha Tejona Vayu Hiranandarupa Ivoham Hiranandarupa Ivoham. The point is, when we can able to understand the real philosophy of life, when we can able to understand what to do, what should not be done, and how to carry on all the life living processes with this philosophy of Nirvana Satakam, then there will be no problem. And I think after this realization, there will be no necessity of explaining any research ethics. Anyway, I have to say about this research ethics as requested by the organizing committee. The key avenue of my presentation is to create awareness among the students for research, to motivate the students for scientific research, to give ideas on research in the true sense of the term. They are mostly focused on research ethics. Detailed ideas on research ethics like the characteristics, types, sources, principles, approaches, and advantages, etc. Then to make conscious to the researchers for research misconduct. Then next slide, yes, research ethics. You know, research is the pillar of knowledge and it constitutes an integral part of the progress in each and every aspect of our life. Ethics are broadly the set of rules, written and unwritten, that govern our expectations of our own and others' behavior. But research ethics is a core aspect of the research work and the foundation of the research design. Next, please. Then the question arises, is there any difference between research ethics and ethics? To say about it, ethics are the moral principles that a person must follow irrespective of the place or time. The scope of ethics is wide, which is mainly concerned with the principles or causes of action, like what obligation is common to all, what is good in all good acts, the sense of duty and responsibility for individuals and society. But the research ethics focus on the moral principles that researchers must follow in their respective fields of research based on honesty and integrity. The research ethics govern the standards of conduct for scientific researchers. It is important to adhere to ethical principles in order to protect the dignity, rights, and the welfare of research participants. Then, what is research? Next slide, please. Next, please. What is research? Research, you can say, to its exact meaning, re means again. So, to sort it again and again, research. This presentation deals with the aim and purpose of the research, the process of research. These are the objectives of the research, what I want to say. The main aim and purpose of the research, the process of research, the 7 steps of the research processes, the problem in research, general characteristics to research, and ethics in research. Now coming to the aim or purpose of the research, the aim of the research is the overall purpose of conducting the research. It could be to add to the knowledge in the area, to address an existing gap in the knowledge, and to devise and teach a solution to an existing problem, and so on. Next, please. Then one of the important facts of the research is the honesty and integrity in the research. Research integrity means conducting research in a way which allows others to have trust and confidence in the methods used and the findings that result from this. Within the university, conducting the research with the integrity also means meeting the professional standards expected from our own researchers. Then the honesty. The intellectual honesty in proposing, performing, and reporting research refers to the honesty with the respect of meaning of one's research. It is expected that researchers present proposals and data honestly and communicate their best understanding of the work to the society, either in writing or in verbal manner. Then the process of research. Research process consists of a series of steps of action required for effectively conducting research. While formulating the research problem, extensive literature survey, developing hypothesis, preparing the research design, determining the sample design, collecting the data, execution of the project, and analysis of the data, etc. Then the 7 steps of the research process. What should be the step? How will we do the research? By step. First of all, there must be the identification of research problem. Without one identification of research problem, without any problem, there cannot be any research. You can see in your day-to-day life also what you are doing. There must be a need. There must be a desire. There must be one objective to do something. Then only you are doing everything. So there must be a research problem. Then after getting the problem, what you have to do, you have to formulate the hypothesis. Next one is the formulation of hypothesis. And by formulating the hypothesis, you can have that null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis, you know. And after conducting the research, you can interpret accordingly. Then what you have to do? You have to collect the review of related literatures. What has been experimented, what has been found out, and what has not yet been found out, you have to do it. You have to do that research. Then accordingly, after deciding all these things, you have to prepare a research design. Without a proper designing, without a proper research design, you cannot able to do the research properly. Then the actual experimentation will be carried out. After conducting the research, you can have your result analysis, and after analyzing the results, you can have your discussion and conclusions. Then, based on that research discussions and conclusions, you can have your suggestions or recommendation to the society at large. After analyzing all these things, we must focus upon the problems in research. While doing all these things, why there are some obstacles, why there are some demerits, or what are the different criteria which will create problem for us, it must be taken into consideration. A research problem is a statement about an area of concern, a condition to be improved, a difficulty to be eliminated, or a troubling question that exists in the scholarly literature, in theory or in practice, that points to the need of meaningful understanding and deliberate investigation. So after analyzing all these things, we must switch over to the next point. That is, what are the general characteristics of a research? The general characteristics of a research indicates that it gathers new knowledge or data from primary or first-hand sources. It places emphasis upon the discovery of general principles. It is an exact, systematic, and accurate investigation. It uses certain valid data gathering devices. Then systematic and control, how to do the systematic data, how to do the systematic research, and how to do the control research. Then the objectives should be unbiased and logical. All findings are logically based and should be empirical. Then, after analyzing all these things, we should know who has found out the ethics, who has coined the term ethics and the research ethics. Richard Paul and Linda Elder, for the first time, they used the concept and principles of ethical research, and they guide us in determining what behavior helps or harms in the forthcoming research. Thus, the scope of ethics is wide, which is mainly concerned with the principles or causes of action as what obligation is common to all, what is good in all good acts, the sense of duty and responsibility for individuals and society. Then, what the research ethics should deal with? The research ethics should involve the application of the fundamental ethical principles to research activities, which include the design and implementation of research, the respect towards society and others, the use of resources and research outputs, scientific misconduct, and the regulation of the research. Thus, the characteristics of the ethics should be the ethical behavior. The ethical behavior should include the honesty, fairness, integrity, understanding the objectivity, morality, prudence, openness, and respect to the intellectual property, confidentiality, responsible publication, responsible management, respect for colleagues, social responsibility, anti-discrimination, etc. Thus, ethics is traditionally subdivided into the normative ethics and meta-ethics and applied ethics. The components of ethical principles are honesty, integrity, etc. What I have just explained beforehand, objectivity, etc. These are details about that. I would like to switch over all these things, because if I will say all these things detail, then it will take more time, and I think I have limited time to explain. Then morality, then prudence, then openness, then respect for intellectual property, then confidentiality, then responsible publication, then responsible management, then respect for colleagues, social responsibility, anti-discrimination, competence, legitimacy, security, then the principles of research ethics. Next slide. Principles of research ethics. All researchers should base on certain basic principles. And without these basic principles, we cannot able to do a perfect research. There should be the minimizing the risk of harm, obtaining the informed consent, protecting anonymity and confidentiality, avoiding deceptive practices, providing the rights to withdraw. Then the 5 sources of ethical standards are the utilitarian approach, the rights approach, the harmless approach, the common good approach, the virtue approach. Then how to decide what is ethical or not? This approach indicates that there are certain things which are ethical in some sphere and is non-ethical in some other spheres. You can take the example of our cultural variation. In our cultural variation, something is logical in one culture and something is illogical in another culture. So we have to focus upon what is rational in the context of environment. Then these are the different points in which we have to focus upon while analyzing on the different ethical values or ethical processes. Then let us discuss about advantage of research ethics. Why should we focus upon research ethics? There are different merits, the advantages for this research ethics, for which we should focus upon the research ethics. The research ethics promote the aims of research. It increases trust among the researcher and the respondent. It is important to adhere to ethical principles in order to protect the dignity, rights, and welfare of research participants. Researchers can be held accountable and answerable for their action. Ethics promote social and moral values. It promotes the ambitions of the research, such as understanding varieties and indulging in the main points of the research and avoiding the errors. The ethical standards uphold the values that are valid to cooperate the work, such as beliefs, etc. etc. The ethical, these are also the ethical norms in the research, which indicates that there must be a constructive constructive aptitude in the development of the research. Then, without considering the negative aspect of the research ethics, the analysis of the discussion will be a haphazard one. So, next is the research misconducts. What are the research misconducts? The research misconducts are the follows, like fabrication, falsification, plagiarism, proposing, performing, and reviewing the research, etc. These are the details about all these things. I am just skipping over to the next because I have less time. The criteria for research misconduct. What should be the criteria to control this research misconduct? It represents a significant departure from accepted practices, has been continued intentionally or knowingly to avoid the research misconducts. It can be proven by the preponderance of the evidence. Then what is not the misconduct? The negative aspect, I mean the no to misconduct are honesty and unintentional errors. Then obtaining the informed consent, all these things you can have here. What I would like to say, I am coming to the last portion, the high process of for ethical standards. I have explained it. Then the next one is some important declaration of the ethical principles by the government. These are the different rules and regulations provided by the Supreme Court and from the government level in different areas. The next is the most important fact. All these things what I have said till now, you can get all these things from your Google. And you can get also from the internet. But the main thing what I have to intimate here is the important aspect is the personal qualities of the researcher, like his or her attitude, motivation, perception, emotion, his creativity, thinking, intelligence, personality. These count a lot in the analysis of. These are the factors which are very much important in the analysis of the ethical value of the research. The next one is the physical and mental health of the researcher. The researcher should be physically fit, otherwise he cannot able to do. You can take the example of the ISRO, who reached the moon. And can you imagine how they have labored hard to reach there? You can't imagine. They forget their families, they forget their food, their sleep, everything, friends, fellowship, everything they have forgotten. And they have their research work on this Chandrayaan. So unless and until one will be physically or biological fit, he cannot able to do that. Next one is the mental health. The researcher should be sound in his mental condition. Otherwise, we cannot do any research. And even if we cannot able to do with the ethical values. Next one is the family support. There must be corporate support from the family. Otherwise, the research cannot be proceeded. Next one is the professional person and the involvement of the institution. How the person is professional to the research work. And how the institution is supporting. This is the example where we are sitting here to discuss about the research ethics. There is a support from the university, and I came to know from Professor Rajat that governor has emphasized to do this research, to this seminar. So just imagine how the institutions, the administration and the government is motivating the researchers to do the work. And with the motivation from the government level and non-government level, the professional characteristics of the researcher, that is his or her own firmness, determination, involvement, sincerity, all these things are also very much important in the research activity. Then the social and environmental support. If the society, culture, the environment will not support it, then also the person concerned cannot able to do the research. And I have also explained you about the government support. So, you know, both heredity and environment are having their particular effect upon our behavior. There must be correlation between the biological factors and the environmental factors. Then we can have the perfect behavioral manifestation. So to conclude, I can say that is the necessity of mind state of the researcher and the person around them. There is a need from government level, from the institutional level to support the research values, to support the research activity, which is now very well acting. You can have several examples, and this seminar is also one of the examples of that. There is a necessity of engineering and re-engineering the thought process. That means what we are having our thought process, what we are having the values, what we are having our mindset beforehand may not be appropriate to this situation. So we have to re-engineer our thought process. Accordingly, we can have the research progress. Then we must follow the philosophy of yoga gerontology. What Professor Ryo Takahashi has just given a hint because he has very less time to talk. We must follow the philosophy of yoga gerontology, which is Indian in its origin. And I am very proud to be an Indian because everything is, whenever you are analyzing on the ethics, values, philosophies, religion, etc., everything is in our culture. Everything is being started from our Indian culture. So the ethical values should be from within. These ethical values which we are having in our own body, mind, and in our culture must be implemented from within. By analyzing these in the seminars, by conducting various orientation course, conferences, seminars from outside, we cannot implement. We cannot transplant like a tree. But these transplantation, these societal factors, these conferences, seminars should have this effect within the individual, should affect the motivation, the attitude, the perception, the emotion, the thinking capacity of the individual. Then only we can have our research ethics. Then only we can have our researches with the ethical values. And when we can have it, after realizing the fact. So these ethical values, the ethics in research should be within the person concerned, should be on the realization of the person concerned. Then you can have a good research, and then only the research can be fostered with ethical values. So thank you very much for giving me this chance to all the members of this university, and especially to Professor Rajat and Professor Anjum. I actually, within one day, I have to prepare everything. So as much as I can, I have presented. Again, thanking to the Vice Chancellor and all the members of the university who have contributed a lot to this conference. I oblige them. Again, I thank to you all. Namaste.
Thank you, Madam. Dr. Santa Mishra. It was very beneficial. The presentation on the research ethics, point-wise, with examples, focusing on ethical values and its advantages as far as research ethics is concerned. It was really very informative. We have known the real aim and objective of research ethics through your presentation. And you have verily said that ethics comes from within. With the research ethics, life ethics, it cannot be transplanted. It comes from society. It comes from the mirror of society, that is the textbook. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Madam. Now, further, may I request Dr. Mohammed Intikhab Rahman, Professor of Psychology and HOD, University Postgraduate Department of Psychology, BN Mandal University, Madhepura, Bihar. He has to credit a number of achievements. He has supervised 12 PhDs successfully. He has to credit 2 books published. He has contributed 7 chapters in books. He has to credit 30 research papers published in national and international journals. He has been the lifetime member of numerous academic bodies. He has worked in the capacity of a number of administrative responsibilities. Sir, Professor Mohammed Intikhab Rahman, sir, please present your PPT or deliver as per the presentation. Please, sir. Yes. Sir, Mohammed Intikhab Rahman, sir, please unmute yourself, sir. Sir, Mohammed Intikhab Rahman, sir, if you can hear me, sir. Yes, he is present. Yes, we are waiting for his response. He is there, is linked with us. Let us wait for him. Maybe he's preparing for the PPT or is with us. Meanwhile, before we link to him, may I just request the participants, if you have questions, yes, yes. Sorry, sir, you have. Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Sir,
Okay.
Yeah, Honorable Vice Chancellor Sahab and Honorable Vice Chancellor Sahab of Bhavin University, Hazaribag, Jharkhand. Honorable speakers from Sri Lanka, Japan, and from the Indian universities. Particularly, I'm thankful and I wish to Professor Santa Mishra ji of Utkal University. I'm thankful to Professor Sadiq Razak Sahab, Director IQAC of Bhavin University. Dear colleagues and dear research scholars from Bhavin University as well as from BN University who are already present in this webinar, I am really thankful that I got this opportunity to say some words before you. I'm proud to say that Sadiq Razak Sahab has approached me and convinced me to be present in the webinar. It's my great opportunity, sir. The topic depicts that the webinar topic is the research ethics and publication of PhD. I would I would like to say a few words on the topic. Before I start in detail, I feel that most of the students who are participating in this webinar are having Hindi background, and to some extent they are feeling difficulties to understand the language in which earlier speakers have spoken. spoken. So I will use both language, English as well as Hindi, so that all students should be very confident. Just starting my talk on research ethics and publication of PhD, it is well known that research ethics is one of the most important topics and also one of the most focused topics nowadays. So before we start about the research ethics, I would like to put a definition about the ethics over here. As far as ethics is concerned, it is a personal code of conduct based on respect for oneself, others, and surroundings, and is governed by the principles or assumptions underpinning the way individuals or organizations ought to conduct themselves. Research ethics involves the application of fundamental ethical principles to research activities, which include the design and implementation of research, respect towards society and others, the use of resources and research outputs, scientific misconduct, and the regulation of research. इन्हीं बातों को अगर हम हिंदी में समझना चाहें, हिंदी में कहना चाहें, तो हम ये कह सकते हैं कि नैतिकता एक व्यक्तिगत आचार संहिता जो स्वयं, दूसरों और परिवेश के प्रति सम्मान पर आधारित, और ये उन सिद्धांतों या मान्यता द्वारा शासित होती है जो व्यक्तियों या संगठनों को स्वयं आचरण करने के तरीकों को रेखांकित करते हैं। अनुसंधान नैतिकता में अनुसंधान गतिविधियों के लिए मौलिक नैतिक सिद्धांतों का अनुप्रयोग शामिल है, जिसमें अनुसंधान का डिजाइन और कार्यान्वयन, समाज और अन्य लोगों के प्रति सम्मान, संसाधनों और अनुसंधान आउटपुट का उपयोग, वैज्ञानिक कदाचार और अनुसंधान का विनियमन शामिल है। Now I say that research ethics basically tells about the guidelines followed by a researcher while performing research. Ethical considerations in research are a set of norms that, when followed, makes the research work more authentic and scientific. यानी कि अनुसंधान नैतिकता मूल रूप से अनुसंधान करते समय एक शोधकर्ता द्वारा पालन किए जाने वाले दिशा निर्देशों के बारे में बताती है। शोध में नैतिक विचार मानदंडों का एक समूह है जिसका पालन करने पर शोध कार्य अधिक प्रामाणिक हो जाता है। Research ethics includes the uses of ethical principles in research activities, which involves research design and implementation of research, empathy towards society and others, utilization of resources and research outputs, and misconduct in the process of regulation of research. अर्थात अनुसंधान नैतिकता में
अनुसंधान गतिविधियों में नैतिक सिद्धांतों का उपयोग शामिल है, जिसमें अनुसंधान डिजाइन और अनुसंधान का कार्यान्वयन, समाज और अन्य लोगों के प्रति सहानुभूति, संसाधनों और अनुसंधान आउटपुट का उपयोग और अनुसंधान की प्रक्रिया और विनियमन के कदाचार शामिल। Research ethics is a set of guidelines that support researchers to do research carefully. It defines the norms for conduct that distinguishes between what is right and wrong. एक समूह है जो शोधकर्ता को सावधानी पूर्वक अनुसंधान करने में सहायता करता है या आचरण के मानदंडों को परिभाषित करता है जो सही और गलत के बीच में अंतर करता है। Thus, we can say that research ethics are a few moral principles that are followed by a researcher in conducting research so that it fulfills the scientific competence and delivers the best results. Ethics promotes values that are essential for collective works. अनुसंधान नैतिकता कुछ नैतिक सिद्धांत हैं जिनका पालन एक शोधकर्ता द्वारा अनुसंधान करते समय किया जाए ताकि वो वैज्ञानिक क्षमता को पूरा कर सके और सर्वोत्तम परिणाम दे सके। नैतिकता उन मूल्यों को बढ़ावा देता है जो सामूहिक कार्य के लिए आवश्यक होते हैं। Now the principles on which ethics is based are related to the research processes: data collection, interpretation of data, report publication, thesis and thesis publication, confidentiality and plagiarism. इसे अगरचे हम अपनी भाषा में समझना चाहें तो कह सकते हैं कि जिन सिद्धांतों पर नैतिकता आधारित है वे अनुसंधान प्रक्रिया, डेटा संग्रह, डेटा की व्याख्या, रिपोर्ट प्रकाशन, थीसिस और थीसिस प्रकाशन, गोपनीयता, अस्पष्टता और साहित्यिक चोरी से संबंधित होता है। Now the question arises, if we are talking about the ethics, then what is the use of ethics in research? Or what is the importance of ethics in research? Here I would like to say that ethics in research is very important and it increases the reliability of the outcome of research. The importance of ethics in research can be better understood by the discussion. As number one, research ethics promotes the aims of the research, like expanding knowledge. Second one, it is important as scientific research is dependent on collaboration between researchers and groups. Third one, this builds up confidence in the research work done and output produced. Fourth, they mean that researchers would be held accountable for their actions as well. And last one, your last importance of the ethic is it supports social and moral values, such as principle of not doing harm to others. अर्थात शोध में नैतिकता बहुत महत्वपूर्ण, क्योंकि यह शोध के परिणाम की विश्वसनीयता बढ़ाती है शोध में नैतिकता के महत्व को हम इस प्रकार दे सकते हैं या इस प्रकार कह सकते हैं कि अनुसंधान नैतिकता, ज्ञान के विस्तार जैसे अनुसंधान के उद्देश्यों को बढ़ावा देता है। दूसरी ओर यह महत्वपूर्ण है क्योंकि वैज्ञानिक अनुसंधानकर्ताओं और समूह के बीच सहयोग पर यह निर्भर करता है। नैतिकता के द्वारा किए गए शोध कार्य और उत्पादित आउटपुट में विश्वास पैदा होता है। साथ ही साथ शोधकर्ताओं को उनके कार्यों के लिए जवाबदेह भी ठहराया जा सकता है और हम यह भी कह सकते हैं कि सामाजिक और नैतिक मूल्यों का समर्थन करते हुए हम अपने शोध से दूसरों को नुकसान पहुंचाने की कोशिश नहीं करते हैं, बल्कि हम उनके फायदे की बातें करते हुए नजर आते हैं। Now there is a big question I think students available in this webinar may ask from me, if there is a so important aspects of ethics in research, then what is the objective? Why we are using ethics in research? What is the objective? The simple way I can say that ethics is the objective of the ethics in research is to understand in a better way, to gain knowledge and do research. किसी भी अनुसंधान को बेहतर तरीके से अंजाम देने के लिए हम उस अनुसंधान के उद्देश्यों को जानकर प्राप्त की जानकारी के आलोक में हम बेहतर तरीके से अपने कार्य का निष्पादन कर सकते हैं, अपने कार्य को हम आगे प्रेषित कर सकते हैं। There are few objectives and I would like to explain here. The main agenda of research is to protect the human participants who are included in the sample drawn from the population. Mostly the sample dynamics are considered, but the participants are kept anonymous. That is the one objective of ethics using in research. The second one is the research ethics also ensures that the research is conducted in a way that serves the interest of individuals or society as a whole. The third objective of ethics is it examines specific research activities and projects for their ethical soundness, which means they are ethically correct. And not last one, but the ethical considerations are supposed to work towards protecting the rights of the research participants, enhancing the validity, and also maintaining the scientific and academic integrity of the research. इसे हम इस तरीके से भी समझना चाहें तो समझ सकते हैं कि शोध में हम नैतिकता और या नैतिक मूल्यों को अगर हम शामिल करते हैं तो शोध का हमारा मुख्य एजेंडा मानव प्रतिभागियों की रक्षा करना है, जो आबादी के लिए आबादी से जो लिए गए जो नमूने सैंपल है पे बेस्ड करता है या उसमें वो शामिल। दूसरा उद्देश्य हमारा यह है कि अधिकतर नमूने या सैंपल्स गतिशीलता या सैंपल डायनेमिक्स जिसे हम कहते हैं पर विचार किया जाता है लेकिन प्रतिभागियों को उसमें गुमनाम रखा जाता है, उनको उनकी कॉन्फिडेंशियलिटी को मेंटेन की जाती है। अनुसंधान नैतिकता यह भी सुनिश्चित करती है कि अनुसंधान इस तरह से किए जाए जो समग्र रूप से व्यक्तियों या समाज के हितों की पूर्ति करता है। अनुसंधान नैतिकता उनकी नैतिक सुदृढ़ता के लिए विशिष्ट अनुसंधान गतिविधियों और परियोजनाओं की भी जांच करती है, जिसका अर्थ है कि वे नैतिक रूप से सही है। नैतिक विचारों को अनुसंधान प्रतिभागियों के अधिकारों की रक्षा करने, वैधता बढ़ाने और अनुसंधान की वैज्ञानिक और शैक्षणिक अखंडता को बनाए रखने की दिशा में काम करते हैं। अब कुछ इश्यूज हैं, देयर आर सम इश्यूज related with the ethics in research. Then we can say that following ethics is very difficult, even though there are set guidelines to be followed. The issues relating to research can be better understood through number one, the validity. Validity means here, particularly here, that it must be seen that all research methods used must relate specifically to the research questions. The research must be directed towards finding out what exactly the research was designed to find. A research is a very complex process, and there are several stages involved in it, and there are researchers might get diverted from the actual topic of research. अर्थात किसी भी रिसर्च में वैधता एक मायने रखती है, उसका एक अर्थ होता है। वैधता से हम यह देखते हैं या इसका उपयोग करके हम शोध विधियों, विशेष रूप से शोध प्रश्नों से उसको रिलेट करते हैं, उसको संबंधित करते हैं। खास तरीके से वैलिडिटी से यह पता लगाने की दिशा में हम निर्देशित करते हैं या उसको हम डायरेक्शन देते हैं कि शोध जो हम कर रहे हैं वास्तव में शोध के लिए वो डिजाइन जो हमने बनाया है वो उचित है या नहीं। क्योंकि ये माना जाता है और ये हम देखते भी हैं कि शोध बहुत ही जटिल प्रक्रिया होती है और इसमें कई चरण शामिल होते हैं और ऐसे में शोधकर्ता शोध के वास्तविक विषय से भटक भी सकते हैं। तो हमें इस बात का ख्याल रखना होगा कि जो रिसर्च हम करने जा रहे हैं या जो रिसर्च हम कर रहे हैं उसमें वैलिडिटी हो, उसमें वैधता हो। दूसरी बातें जो हम रखना चाहते हैं वो है वॉलंटरी पार्टिसिपेशन एंड कंसेंट। The research must be intended for the participation of individuals in the research with free will and should be biased. The researcher is expected not to opt for unethical ways of collecting data from the participants. यहाँ ये बात गौर करने की है कि अनुसंधान का उद्देश्य स्वतंत्र इच्छा के साथ अनुसंधान में व्यक्तियों की भागीदारी होनी चाहिए, स्वेच्छा के साथ और पूर्वाग्रह से मुक्त होना चाहिए। शोधकर्ता से अपेक्षा की जानी चाहिए कि वो प्रतिभागियों से डाटा एकत्र करने के लिए अनैतिक कारकों या तरीकों का चयन न करें। Now the important aspect is sampling. As a research, or I can say research is logical process. There should be a logic behind why a particular sample has been chosen. The choice should be bias-free in terms of selection. The researcher is expected to have justification on selecting one sample over the other, except for convenient sampling. Every other sampling process needs to be properly followed. सैंपलिंग या नमूनाकरण हम कह लें कि चूंकि शोध एक तार्किक प्रक्रिया है, इसलिए किसी भी विशेष नमूने को क्यों चुना गया है, इसके पीछे एक तर्क होना चाहिए। चयन के मामले में चयन पूर्वाग्रह मुक्त होना चाहिए। शोधकर्ता से यह अपेक्षा की जानी चाहिए कि वो एक नमूने को दूसरे नमूने की तुलना में चुनने के औचित्य को समझे, सुविधाजनक नमूनाकरण को छोड़ दें। अन्य सभी नमूनाकरण प्रक्रिया का ठीक से पालन किया जाना आवश्यक माना जाता है। शोध की नैतिकता के लिए और एथिक्स के लिए it is important to have confidentiality. The main challenge of research is to maintain the confidentiality of the participants chosen as samples. The data from the chosen samples and the confidentiality of the participants should be respected and protected. The researcher is always expected to keep the identity of the participants confidential. यानी है कि शोध की मुख्य चुनौती नमूने के रूप में चुने गए प्रतिभागियों की गोपनीयता बनाए रखती है। चुने गए नमूनों से प्राप्त डेटा और प्रतिभागियों की गोपनीयता का सम्मान और सुरक्षा किया जाना चाहिए। शोधकर्ता से हमेशा प्रतिभागियों की पहचान गोपनीय रखने की अपेक्षा की जाती है और इसे करते रहना भी चाहिए। Other aspect is that is vulnerable groups. There are certain groups in society like prisoners, students, etc., whose participation in research is not only risky, but it is very risky. These groups are sensitive groups, and data collected from them should be properly handled, and all the due diligence needs to be followed. The researcher should follow the proper process for collecting data from these participants and avoid any malpractices. वो जो कमजोर समूह होता है जहां से हम सैंपल कलेक्ट करते हैं, नमूने को इकट्ठा करते हैं, तो समाज में कुछ ऐसे समूह हैं, जैसे एग्जाम्पल हमने दिया, जैसे कैदी हैं, छात्र हैं, और इस तरह से कई समूह हैं जिनकी अनुसंधान में भागीदारी जोखिम भरी होती है। ये समूह संवेदनशील समूह माना जाता है और उनसे एकत्र किए गए डाटा को ठीक से संभालना मुश्किल भी होता है और उसे संभालना भी चाहिए और सभी उचित परिश्रम का पालन भी करना चाहिए। शोधकर्ता को इन प्रतिभागियों से डाटा एकत्र करने के लिए उचित प्रक्रिया का पालन करना चाहिए और किसी भी कदाचार से अपने आप को बचाए रखना चाहिए। The other point is the beneficence of non-maleficence. I mean to say that the researchers are expected to protect their clients and the general public from unethical, incompetent or illegal practices of any श्रम या अवैध प्रथाओं से बचाएं। Next aspect is informed consent. The individuals participating in the research should be fully informed about the terms and conditions of research, and should also be aware of the potential risk and discomfort of the probable outcomes. The researchers are responsible for the safety of participants, and their work should not put participants under threat. एक सूची जो सहमति की सूची है वो पार्टिसिपेंट्स को प्रोवाइड किया जाना चाहिए, क्योंकि शोध में भाग लेने वाले व्यक्तियों को शोध के नियमों और शर्तों के बारे में पूरी जानकारी दी जानी चाहिए या उनको होनी भी चाहिए, और संभावित परिणामों के संभावित जोखिम और असुविधा के बारे में भी उनको बताना चाहिए। शोधकर्ता प्रतिभागियों की सुरक्षा के लिए जिम्मेदार है और उनके काम से प्रतिभागियों को कोई खतरा भी नहीं है, इस चीज का भी उनमें एक एहसास जगाना चाहिए। The most, I think, important aspect for the ethics in research is plagiarism. Plagiarism is an act of presenting to steal and pass off someone else's words or ideas as one's own without crediting the source. The researcher should not copy someone else's work and claim to be his own. Also, his own work should not be presented in different forms as unique. प्रेजेंट जिसे साहित्यिक चोरी कहते हैं, या स्रोत को यानी सोर्सेस को शय दिए बिना किसी और के शब्दों या विचारों को चुराकर अपना बताकर पेश करने का एक काज है। शोधकर्ता को किसी दूसरे के काम की नकल करके अपना काम नहीं करना चाहिए, साथ ही अपने काम को अलग अलग रूपों में अद्वितीय के रूप में प्रस्तुत भी नहीं करना चाहिए। The next is the fabrication. Fabrication means making up the outcomes or altering them to suit one's own needs. The researchers, to suit his needs, should not manipulate the data collect. Instead, he should present the data as it is. इसको फैब्रिकेशन को हम हिंदी में निर्माण किसी हद तक कह सकते हैं, लेकिन एग्जैक्ट इसकी शब्दावली नहीं है। जो मेरे समझ में आया उसे हम आपके सामने रखना चाहते हैं कि निर्माण या फैब्रिकेशन का जो अर्थ है कि परिणामों को बनाना या उन्हें अपनी आवश्यकताओं के अनुरूप बदलना। शोधकर्ता को अपनी आवश्यकताओं के अनुरूप डाटा संग्रह में हेरफेर नहीं करना चाहिए, बल्कि उसे डाटा को वैसे ही प्रस्तुत करना चाहिए जैसा कि वो है या जैसा कि उसे आपने हासिल किया। The other one is the falsification. Falsification is basically manipulating the research materials, changing or omitting data as per convenience, such that the research record is not properly represented. यानी मिथ्याकरण मूल रूप से अनुसंधान सामग्रियों में हेर फेर करना, सुविधा के अनुसार डेटा को बदलना या हटाना ताकि अनुसंधान रिकॉर्ड का उचित प्रतिनिधित्व हो सके, ये बिल्कुल ही अनइथिकल है, बिल्कुल ही ये गलत। The next one is the non-publication data. Non-publication of data means that the data has been suppressed, such as expectations, that is considered and it is explained in research. The researcher should not be omitting data as his convenience. इसका मतलब है कि डेटा को इस तरह से न दबाया जाए कि शोध के अंदर एक अपवाद उत्पन्न हो जाए, और ये कोशिश करनी चाहिए कि अपनी सुविधा के अनुसार, रिसर्चर को अपनी सुविधा के अनुसार डाटा के साथ किसी भी तरह की छेड़छानी या छेड़छाड़ नहीं करनी चाहिए। Apart from all these aspects, there are some components of ethical research also. यानी कि नैतिक के अनुसंधान के कुछ घटक भी हैं on which I would like to put some lights on. As far as component is concerned, the first one is integrity. The researcher, while conducting research, must be true and honest to his findings and research, and should hold on to the desired moral practices. सत्यनिष्ठा को बनाए रखना अति आवश्यक, क्योंकि शोध करते समय शोधकर्ता को अपने निष्कर्षों और शोध के प्रति सच्चा और ईमानदार होना अति आवश्यक है। साथ ही साथ वांछित नैतिक प्रथाओं को भी उन्हें कायम रखना होगा। The other component is objectivity. There should be a well-defined objective for the research work being conducted and should be directional in nature. इन वस्तुनिष्ठता का होना बहुत ही आवश्यक माना जाता है, क्योंकि किए जाने शोध का एक संतुष्ट उद्देश्य होना चाहिए और उसकी प्राकृतिक दिशात्मक भी होनी चाहिए। Professional competency is another one component. The researcher should be competent enough to handle the data and also analyze and interpret it. Interpret it correctly such that the true nature of the outcome is depicted. यानी एक रिसर्चर में व्यावसायिक योग्यता का होना भी आवश्यक है। शोधकर्ता को डाटा को संभालने और उसका सही ढंग से विश्लेषण और व्याख्या करने में सक्षम होना चाहिए ताकि परिणाम की वास्तविक प्रकृति को दर्शाया जा सके। Confidentiality is also a component. The anonymity of the participants should be in place and should be protected, such that this does not cause any harm to the participants in future. गोपनीयता को अपनाए रखें, प्रतिभागियों की गुमनामी या उनकी गोपनीयता बनी रहनी चाहिए और इसे इस तरह से संरक्षित किया जाना चाहिए कि इससे भविष्य में प्रतिभागियों को किसी भी तरह का या किसी भी ढंग का नुकसान न उठा। Professional behavior. The researcher is expected to have very professionally with the participants involved such that the outcome remains biased. यानी व्यावसायिक व्यवहार हमें अपनाना है शोधकर्ता से इसमें शामिल प्रतिभागियों के साथ बहुत पेशेवर व्यवहार करने की अपेक्षा की जाती है ताकि परिणाम को पूर्वाग्रह से मुक्त करा सके या मुक्त कर सके। Now there is a big question about the principles of ethics in research or ethical research. कि नैतिक अनुसंधान के क्या क्या सिद्धांत है जिसे अपनाना आवश्यक है और जिसके आधार पे हम नैतिकता को पूर्ण रूप से अपने शोध में बरकरार रख सकें। There are certain principles in ethical research that should be religiously followed by the researcher, such that the outcomes are not harmed. यानी कि नैतिक अनुसंधान में कुछ सिद्धांत हैं जिनका शोधकर्ता को ईमानदारी से पालन करना चाहिए ताकि परिणामों में किसी भी प्रकार का कोई नुकसान न उठाना पड़े न हो। The first principle is honesty. Honesty, strive for honesty in all scientific communications. Honesty report data, results, methods, and procedures, and publication status. Do not fabricate, falsify, or misrepresent data. Do not deceive colleagues, research persons, or the public. कहने का तात्पर्य यह है कि ईमानदारी सबसे बहुमूल्य विषय है या बहुमूल्य चीज है और सभी वैज्ञानिक संचारों में ईमानदारी के लिए प्रयास करना चाहिए। डाटा हो, उसके परिणाम हो, विधियां हैं और प्रक्रियाओं और प्रकाशन स्थिति में ईमानदारी से रिपोर्ट करना चाहिए। डाटा को करने में गलत साबित न करें बल्कि सही तरीके का इस्तेमाल। सहकर्मियों, शोध प्रायोजकों या जनता को कभी भी अपने शोध के नाम पर या अपने शोध के लिए धोखा। The second principle is the objectivity. Strive to avoid bias in experimental design, data analysis, data interpretation, peer review, personnel decisions, grant writing, expert testimony, and other aspects of research where objectivity is expected or required. Avoid or minimize a self-deception. Disclose personal or financial interests that may affect research. So, we have to be very, very objective. जिसे हम निष्पक्षतावाद शब्दों के नाम से भी हम जानते। प्रयोगात्मक डिजाइन, डेटा विश्लेषण, डेटा व्याख्या, सहकर्मी समीक्षा, कार्मिक निर्णय, अनुदान लेखन, विशेषज्ञ गवाही और अनुसंधान के अन्य पहलुओं में पूर्वाग्रह से बचने का प्रयास करना चाहिए जहां तक निष्पक्षता अपेक्षित या आवश्यक है। पूर्वाग्रह या आत्म धोखे से बचने की जरूरत है या उसे हम कम से कम इस्तेमाल करें ज्यादा बेहतर है। व्यक्तिगत या वित्तीय हितों का अवश्य करें जो अनुसंधान को प्रभावित कर सकते हैं। जैसा कि अभी 12 फोन आ रहा है, ऐसे कंडीशंस में शायद मुझको शॉर्ट करने की बात की जा रही हो। Yeah, I will try to include it in a
Okay.
short. Yeah, yeah. So just just tell out about in brief. I am going to tell you the integrity, that is the akhandata, carefulness is important. Openness for the research is also an important principle, जिसे हम खुलापन कह सकते हैं. ट्रांसपेरेंसी, जिसे पारदर्शिता का नाम हम दे सकते हैं. अकाउंटेबिलिटी, यानी कि अपनी जवाबदेही को हम रिसर्चर्स को खुद समझना होगा. इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टीज का हनन हम न करें, यानी कि जो बौद्धिक संपदा है उसका पूर्णतः हमें पालन करना है. कॉन्फिडेंशियलिटी, यानी कि कोई भी कॉन्फिडेंशियल है, कोई भी चीजें कॉन्फिडेंशियल रखी गई है उसको भी हमें शामिल किया जाना है. गोपनीयता, जिसे हम कह सकते हैं. रिस्पॉन्सिबल पब्लिकेशंस की जरूरत है, क्योंकि ये कॉमन देखने को मिलता है कि रिसर्च हम कर रहे होते हैं, रिसर्च हो रही होती है, लेकिन उसमें क्या है कि बहुत से ऐसे फेक जर्नल्स हैं, बहुत से ऑनलाइन अवेलेबल जर्नल्स हैं जिनका कोई रेफरेंस सामने नहीं आता है, लेकिन वो पैसे को गाई करते हैं. और सिर्फ हम अपने खाना पूरी के लिए, खुद को दिखाने के लिए, रिसर्चर बनने के लिए, या ये कहने के लिए कि हमने ये वर्क कर लिया, वो वर्क कर लिया, अपने बायोडाटा को क्या कहेंगे मोटा करने के लिए, ये सारी चीजों को हम पब्लिकेशन में डालते चले जाते हैं. पैसे की भी बर्बादी होती है, तो इससे हमको अवॉइड करना है. इसलिए भी बहुत ही अनएथिकल ये लगता है, इससे हमको खुद को बचाना है. यानी कि एक जिम्मेदार प्रकाशन से जहाँ जो जर्नल निकलते हैं वहाँ हमारी वर्क को पब्लिश हो, तो वो हमारे लिए बेटर हो. फिर हमको रिस्पॉन्सिबल मेंटर बनने की आवश्यकता है. हम किसी को अगर मार्गदर्शन देते हैं तो एक जिम्मेदारी से हम अपने मार्गदर्शन को पूरा करें, न कि हम खानापुरी करें. उसके बाद हमारा एक रिसर्चर के हमारा रोल होगा कि हम अपने कॉलीग्स को भी रेस्पेक्ट करें, यानी जो भी हमारे सहकर्मी हैं, हमारे साथ में कार्य कर रहे होते हैं, एक लैब है या एक डिपार्टमेंट में है, तो उनको हम उतना ही सम्मान दें जितना कि वो हकदार होते हैं. हमारी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी भी होती है, सोशल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी भी होती है, और सोशल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी को भी हम पूर्ण करने की कोशिश करें. हमारी ये कोशिश होनी चाहिए कि किसी भी तरीके से सामाजिक नुकसान हमारे वर्क से, हमारे काम से या हमारी रिसर्च से न हो. नॉन डिस्क्रिमिनेशन भी हमको बनना है, यानी किसी भी तरीके का हमको लिंग या नस्ल या जातीयता वगैरह की जो भेदभाव नहीं करनी है, उसकी अखंडता को हमको बरकरार रखना है. अपने सहयोगियों का, सहकर्मियों का या छात्र छात्राओं का के खिलाफ हमको किसी भी तरह का रिसर्च में भेदभाव नहीं करना चाहिए. कॉम्पिटेंस भी एक प्रिंसिपल है, एक एस्पेक्ट है जिसे हम अपनी क्षमता कह सकते हैं. तो क्षमता को और दक्षता को हम अपना यूटिलाइज करें, उसे हम बनाए रखें. लीगलिटी भी एक बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट है, और लीगलिटी यानी वैधानिकता को हम कभी भी उसको अपने हाथ से न जाने दें. जो भी कानून है उसका हम पूर्णतः पालन करें. साथ ही साथ कुछ ऐसे भी रिसर्चेस होती हैं जिसमें हम एनिमल्स का या जानवरों पशुओं का उपयोग करते हैं, तो पशुओं पर हम किसी भी तरह से क्रूरलिटी ना हो, किसी भी तरह का उनको हम जो है नुकसान ना पहुंचाएं. उसके बाद हमारा प्रयोग या हमारा जो रिसर्च है वो चलता रहे, इसका भी हमें ध्यान रखना आवश्यक है. उसके बाद जो सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट है, तो सभी इम्पोर्टेंट है, लेकिन उन सबों में हमारा ह्यूमन सब्जेक्ट प्रोटेक्शन एक बहुत भी बड़ा एस्पेक्ट होता है, जिसे मानव विषयों की सुरक्षा करना हमारा लक्ष्य होता है, हमारा कार्य होता है, जिसमें मानवीय गरिमा, गोपनीयता और स्वायत्ता का हमें सम्मान करना चाहिए. हम समझते हैं कि इन्हीं इथिकल वैल्यूज को, इन्हीं इथिक्स को अगर हम अपने रिसर्च में शामिल करते हैं तो हम एक अच्छे रिसर्चर और एक अच्छा रिसर्च प्रोड्यूस कर सकते हैं. इन्हीं चंद शब्दों के साथ आप सबों का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. आप सबों का बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया.
It was an excellent lecture from your side, sir. It was nice listening to you while throwing light on what, why, and how of research is. It was also very beneficial when you explained the relevance of research ethics in data collection, segregation, and synthesis of data. Moreover, it is verily said that research ethics promotes the aims and objectives of research, and it requires voluntary participation. We should abide by the logic, voluntary participation, and never be prejudiced in any way when we are performing it. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you.
Going further, just we are about to conclude. The chief role players, Dr. Sadiq Rajak and Dr. Ravi Krishna. But for the vote of thanks, I would request Dr. Avinash Kumar, Department of Botany, and also playing a key role in the Central Library looking after the research. Please, Dr. Avinash, if you can take over. Please, Dr. Avinash. Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Gananam, sir. A very good afternoon to all. It is indeed an honor and a privilege today to deliver the vote of thanks for this insightful and enriching webinar on research, ethics, and publication. On behalf of Vinod University, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all of you for your active participation and contributions. First and foremost, I would like to express our deepest appreciation to our distinguished speakers, Professor Sameem sir from Sri Lanka, Professor Takahashi from Japan, Professor Santa Mishra from Odisha, Professor Rahman sir from Bihar. Sir and Madam, your expertise, your knowledge, and your willingness to share your insights have illuminated the path for all of us on the crucial topic of research ethics, and publication. I would also like to extend our thanks to all the attendees, in particular the young research scholars. जितने भी रिसर्च स्कॉलर्स आज प्रेजेंट हैं उनका पार्टिसिपेशन इस वेबिनार को डायनेमिक बनाया और ये रीअफर्म करता है our collective commitment on upholding the highest ethical standards in research and publication. Furthermore, I must acknowledge the commitment and dedication of the organizing committee that includes, but the list is not limited to, our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Srimati Suman Catherine Spotaman, our Director IQAC, Dr. Sadiq Rajak sir, all the coordinators of this webinar, the technical team behind the scenes. Without their meticulous planning, attention to detail, and seamless execution, this webinar would not have been possible. Last but not least, I would like to thank each and every one of you for your time and active engagement today. जिनका नाम जुबान पे नहीं आया है वो हमारे दिल में है और उन सब का दिल से धन्यवाद. And finally, as we leave this virtual gathering, let us carry forward the knowledge and insights gained here and apply them in our respective fields. Thank you once again for your participation and contribution. I wish you all a wonderful day ahead. Thank you and do take care. Goodbye.
Thank you, Dr. Avinash, for the thanks, vote of thanks. And thank you again, everyone, for making it a successful one. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Participants can leave now.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.